time for the Straight Up Wrestling Show.
What's up, everybody? It's HBT with the Straight Up Wrestling Show. Guys, coming to you live tonight, man. Hey, later on tonight is actually morning time now, a little bit early in the morning, AM time, but hey, basically still nighttime for us here on the East Coast. That's what I'm going to call it. But man, hey, look, I don't know if you checked out Monday Night Raw tonight, but definitely checked it out. And hey, wanted to see what you guys thought about tonight's Raw, man. I mean, it was like I have in the hidden guys there. Like I said, man, look, it was pretty raggedy, straight up. But hey, that's just the way the ball bounces now in wrestling. And it's not just the WWE when it boils down to it, man. I'm talking about AEW. I'm talking about NWA Power. I'm talking about MLW, TNA, all the way down to the indies, man. Straight up, wrestling is pretty much got to be a drag, man. It's basically raggedy, and I'm talking about all the way live, guys. And hopefully I have some people come in here, man, and we can talk about this thing. But hey, I'm going to talk about this for a little while. Talk about wrestling in general, what's going on. Talk about what's going on, man, and hey, and what I think about it straight up. You know, it is what it is. I mean, it's just flat out crazy. So I'm gonna talk about tonight's Raw. I did write down every single thing that basically happened from the jump, and I'm talking about from the entrance all the way to the end, man. And let me see if I can get this thing out, share it out to some of the people. You know, some all people that usually come on here. Man, might be a lot of people awake. I mean, might be a lot of people sleep. Maybe some people awake, not knowing that I'm on tonight. Because usually I don't do this. But I did watch it. I watched it actually while I was cooking tonight. Man, got behind because I talked to some friends on the phone and everything. Got behind, so didn't get to do Raw live tonight like we usually do. So man, I'm gonna go ahead and review the show. But man, like I said, it was pretty wild. It really was tonight, and it just I'm like, man, where do WWE go from here? Where do they go from here? Man, is the show's going to get better? Right now, I just can't believe what I'm seeing. And it's not a lack of star power because they do have star power, but is basically, if you ask me, is basically being able to push out the star power, actually basically giving them storylines to where their stars can, the stars can shine. And I think that's the problem that the WWE is having, man, when it boils down to it. So yeah, just give me a couple minutes here, and guys, I am gonna go. I'm gonna go down the line of the whole card, and I'm gonna talk about everything from the interviews and all that about what happened tonight. But yeah, I do want to reach out here to some people. Pretty much, go ahead and share this thing out. But guys, man. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed. Every week in and week out, I'm hoping for a great show. I'm hoping that WWE give us great shows, but man, it's not happening. And like I said, straight up, I'm not dogging out WWE, just dogging out WWE. I'm talking about wrestling in general. I'm looking for great shows, man, and for the most part, we're just not getting them. And like I said, it's not just the WWE; it's all the way down. From the WWE all the way down to the indies. We've been getting a lot of bad shows, and man, I really hate it, but that's just the way the ball bounces. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, that is the way the ball bounces right now. And man, it's not much else that you can really say about it. Straight up, I mean. Wow. Like I said, just hopefully it gets better. My man Robert Brown is in the house. What's up, Lafayette, Indiana in the building? What's happening, brother? What's going on, Robert? Haven't seen you in a while, man. But yeah, Robert Brown is in the building, man. My man. Appreciate you coming in and rocking with Straight Up Wrestling family. But yes. Yeah, I'm about to get into this, man. I just now shared this thing out to a few people and everything. So I'm gonna pretty much get into it. I'm gonna talk about it from the top to the bottom, man. Monday Night Raw. From the beginning, the Usos entry and the face off between LA Knight and the Vision, that was okay. The Usos have star power, man. They do. The Usos still have star power. They started out and they was out in the entryway as far as the arena where they sell merchandise, pretty much as far as they taking the tickets and everything. But they was out there and they started off with the Uso, the Yeet chant and everything. But they still have star power, man. They really do. The Usos actually mean something, and I do think that the WWE, as far as Triple H and the WWE, they need to take advantage of that. They need to take advantage of that 100%. Man, I'm glad that they did get those brothers back together because they look better together. But when it boils down to it, they actually need to be with Roman. They really do. For some reason, I think Roman bounced off them and they bounced off Roman. It is what it is. But you have to do what's best for the company. Do what's best for the company. They really need to do that. So some kind of way they need to, as far as the Usos, they need to pretty much build them up through a storyline to where they end up getting back with Roman. And you know what? They can pretty much substitute when Roman is not there. But they do need a manager. They need somebody to bounce off of like a managerial presence with them to pretty much give them that strength that they are. Paul Heyman gave them that strength like they're something special, and that's what they need. They actually need that, especially if they're not with their brother. Not with their brother, but with their cousin. Sorry, guys, my throat is messing with me right now. What's up, Jay? Jamie Earnhardt says, what's going on, boss man? Nothing much, Jay. All right. Robert Brown says, I don't know about you, but with how he booked black talent, I call Triple H Mr. IC Color. Well, a lot of people feel that same way, Robert. They really do. And Robert, I'm gonna tell you like this: from being in the business, and Jamie Earnhardt, he's in the business too. But being in the business, me and Chris, all of being over, we done pretty much worked with over 30, 31 independent organizations. Pretty much booked our own wrestling organization. Worked with a couple of them as far as booking and things like that, doing commentary and all that. I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. Most promoters out here that I know, and most bookers that I know, have no clue when it comes to how to book black talent. They don't. They just don't, man. I don't think when it boils down to it, I don't think it's a racism thing. I just think they do not know how to book it, man. They don't know how to write storylines around black talent for the most part. Now, back in the day, yes, I do think they knew. I do think when I was growing up, I do think they knew how to do it. Even though they did it surrounding a lot of stereotypical things, they did know how to do it. They knew how to book Junkyard Dog. They knew how to book Tony Atlas. They knew how to book Pez Wiley. They knew how to book those guys, man. But now I don't think, now I think Triple H has a hard time trying to do it. I think Tony Khan has a hard time trying to do it. I really don't think they know how to do it. Now, out here on the indie scene, from what we see, if they get two black talents, they always match those two up. They always match it up. I just don't know why, but they do. They always match the black talent up in these on these indie shows. But yeah, for the most part, man, I just really think they just do not know how to do it. I don't think it's a racism thing. I really don't, man. So, wow, man, we're gonna have to see how all that plays out. But Triple H, I think Triple H is in a bind, man, and he really needs to find somebody that know how to do it. Now, if you had somebody that come in who's a black booker and he looks at all the talent, would he know how to book that talent? I'm not actually sure, because I've seen black shows, man, I've seen straight up black shows, and they had white talent on there. They had mostly black talent on there, and they kind of like was doing that too. So I'm like, it's crazy. Where's my manners? Where's my brother Chris at? Chris is at home, man. Chris probably sleeping. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, Chris worked tonight. So Chris just got off not too long ago. But man, I'll tell him you asked about him, Robert, but I appreciate you being in. All right, man. So I didn't rank that. The entry or nothing. Like I said, Monday Night Raw, the entry, man, we saw the Usos enter and the face-off between them and LA Knight, and the vision was okay. The Usos, like I said, the Usos do have star power, man. They still look good. And I do think they have a rapport with the crowd, not just the yeet thing. It's just that what they are and what they do is over straight up. All right, man. And then we had the match, Division versus the Usos and LA Knight. Division defeated the Usos and LA Knight. And I gave that match 2.8. I had it at a 2.8, which is 3 stars, guys. So I gave that match 3 stars, guys, straight up. It wasn't that bad. Actually, that was the best match of the night. That was the best thing that happened tonight, even though I think, the Vision, they did get a little help in winning that match, but they did win that match. And, hey, I gave it 2.8, which is 3 stars. So congratulations to the Vision defeating the Usos. And, man, Austin Theory, good-looking kid, somebody that they really need to work with, and they need to really put him back on top. The first time they had him there, outside of Vince, when Vince was there, Vince had a pretty much a solid read on the young man, and I think Vince was actually going to take him on to the top, man, some kind of way. But when Triple H ended up getting in there with him, and I don't think Triple H likes Austin Theory, and Triple H really didn't know what to do with him. But man, Austin Theory could be a star, man. That's somebody that they need to pretty much build up. He's young and everything, and he's somebody who's pretty much going to put butts in a seat down the road if you play him right. So, yeah, Austin Theory, man. Austin Theory looked good in that match, which he looks good in everything, man. Every time he wrestles, he looks real good. I mean, it's not that I'm a huge fan of Austin Theory. I just know what this young man could end up doing for the business. But, man, LA Knight, man, I like I said, I feel bad for LA Knight and the way they treat LA Knight. It's a sad thing. But, he was in that match. He looked good in the match, but he ended up on the losing side. But congratulations to the Vision. All right, man. And of course, like I said, the Masked Man came out there and attacked Logan Paul. And to me, Logan Paul, like at the end of the match, Logan Paul went out there, and Logan Paul was pretty much at the announce table, and he was pretty much yelling and screaming and fussing and talking about the Masked Man, what he did. All right, there we go. My girl Christine, Saucy Girl, what's going on? All right, but Logan Paul, Masked Man came and attacked Logan Paul, and it didn't mean anything. It really didn't. So I'm like, why in the world did they have that? Why in the world did that happen? But it happened. All right. So the next thing is the Grande Americanos talk with Adam Pearce. So the Grande Americanos talk with Adam Pearce, and the man, the delivery man, talk with Adam Pearce. That was flat, so they, Adam Pearce was talking about who brought that crate and everything. So he was having a talk with the delivery man and Americanos, the El Grande Americanos in the back. It was flat. I did not like that. And I'm like, why are you having this segment here on this wrestling show? You definitely didn't need to have it. It had no energy, guys. It really didn't. You could actually do it, but they did not deliver any energy with that. So it was flat. So I didn't rate it or anything like that. It just was flat. Then we had Oscar, and we had a triple threat, Oscar versus Bayley and Natalya. That was a decent match. Man, I love Natalya's new attitude. I like what she's doing as a heel. She looks very strong. Of course, Bayley looked strong in that match, and Oscar always looking strong. Oscar ended up winning the match. She defeated Bayley and Natalya. I gave it 2.5 stars, guys. But the attack on Natalya after the match did not click. It really didn't, guys. That did not click. Mariah May, what is her name? Let's see. I think there's a name. The model, I always get her mixed up with somebody over in AEW. I don't know why, but I always get her mixed up. But yeah, her her attack on Natalya, that did not click at all, guys. It just, the timing was off. So I'm just like, that just was not good. All right, we had Michael Cole sit down with Liv Morgan, interrupted by Stephanie McCure. I gave that 2 stars, guys. I gave it 2 stars. Basically, that would have been a thumbs down. It really didn't play. It didn't play well at all. It's not that because Stephanie was talking. She's talking. She pretty much was speaking. She was actually speaking Spanish and everything. And you had Dominique talking to Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan ended up crying. But yeah, it just fell flat. It just wasn't popping, guys. So I'm just like, wow, man. I'm looking at this whole show and how everything's playing out, and it wasn't good. All right, we had CM Punk face off with Finn and the Judgment Day. I gave that 2.5 stars, guys. CM Punk had a pretty good promo, pretty good promo going, and then he had Finn come out there and it was pretty good. But Finn, he brought the Judgment Day. At first, it was just him out on the ramp, and I wish it would have just been him going into the ring. But he ended up with Dominic, coming out with Dominic Mysterio and JD, and man, it just didn't come off. It didn't come off well. But 2.5 stars, man. It wasn't actually ruined, but it wasn't great. But it was decent. Okay. Then we had Rhea and Io Sky backstage segment. It was interrupted by Asuka and Kairi Sane, and that was crazy, man. It was good, so I have to say, it wasn't good. I mean, it wasn't good, so I have to say thumbs down. The only thing that was really entertaining about that is when Asuka, she just went crazy on Kairi Sane, and she's been acting like that for a while, man. But she be going off on Kairi Sane, and actually she scared everybody. She scared Io. She scared Kairi. I don't know about Rhea. Rhea just pretty much like standing there, but Asuka just going nuts or whatever. So that was kind of entertaining, man. But still, I give it a thumbs down when it boils down to it. I'm like, every single thing is like, what they was doing tonight was like a repeat of what they've been doing week in and week out. And man, I'm just like, the fans were just dead. They was dead. There was no energy in that building. And I'm like, hey, come on, WWE, you are going to have to go to another level. You're going to have to go to something different to pretty much change this up. And I think the commercial breaks have a lot to do with the deadness in the arena of what is doing to the show. Is the commercial breaks. They are just too long, and they do a lot of damage to the show. All right, man. Then we had El Grande Americanos number 2. I'm going to call him number 2. El Grande Americano number 2 versus Penta. That match, man, was okay. Now, the whole thing about it, when Penta came out, now Penta, I was on one podcast tonight, and they was talking about that, and they was talking about how Penta just doesn't look good at all, and he needs his brother. And I said that, when he first came there, I kept saying they need to team him up with his brother, man. I definitely want to see him with his brother. That's why you bring somebody in like Penta. You bring him and you bring his brother. You team those guys up, and you build a strong tag team foundation around them, a strong tag team division. So you can get the most out of Penta and Rey Fenix. But the WWE hasn't done that. Sent Rey Fenix, sent him down to SmackDown, and you have Penta on Raw, man. So they never have united those guys and used them as a tag team. So, but it is what it is. So you have Rey Fenix, not Rey Fenix, but yeah, Penta. And Penta coming out, he's doing his pimp walk, people getting into it. So he kind of like pretty much get the crowd into it a little bit. But when I sat there and I looked at Penta, I really haven't been on Penta, never really been a Penta fan, wasn't a Penta fan when he was in AEW. Now I was I like seeing him and Rey Fenix together. I am a Rey Fenix fan. I like Rey Fenix more than I like Penta. But Penta, man, when it boils down to it, I'm looking at him tonight. Penta does have star power, man. He has that star power. He has drawing power. If he's used right, if you can actually book him right, you can book him on a path to where he can go and he can get some championships. He will be able to be something special as far as in the WWE, man. And they, like I said, they have used his name pretty much the buildup of who he was in AEW and what he is in Mexico. They pretty much have used that to pretty much fuel some of the early juice. Late. I say late 2025 up until this year 2026. They really have used that to pretty much fuel and pretty much build up the base a little bit more. But man, like I say, Penta can't. Right now he can't save this, man. But that match right there, Penta versus El Grande Americano, I gave it 2 stars, guys. But I gave it a thumbs down on the attack from the original El Grande Americano. The original came out and he attacked. So, man, and pretty much, and he saved because all other El Grande Americanos pretty much got on Penta, and he pretty much saved him. So helped fend off those guys. So that was pretty good, but I still give it a thumbs down because all the way up into this point right here in the show, all we had was interference. Everything was somebody interfering or whatever. Never could get anything clean. So like I'm saying, that's why I'm saying straight up, man, that's just, I had to give it a thumbs down, man. I hate to do it. I really do, but I had to do that. All right, the Judgment Day backroom segment was average. It had no heart, straight up. They just sitting back there talking, and it's kind of like it died, man. Without Damian Priest in the Judgment Day, let's see, who else was when Real was in there? Ever since Damian, when Real left, and then, Damian, when she got hurt, Damian Priest leaving that Judgment Day, man, it's just like, they get back there, have a clubhouse, they talking, really no juice, nothing that really, no feeling, no heart is pumping out of those segments with the Judgment Day. And I hate to say that, I really do. They have had some really good segments as far as Liv and her falling in love with Dominic and doing those things like that. But for the most part is when Damian was still with him, straight up. All right, man. AJ Lee in-ring segment gets 2.5 stars. A face-off with Becky gets 2 stars. Now, the thing about, people saying AJ Lee, and they don't like her talking. A lot of people think her, pretty much her promos are not good. No, she's not the greatest talker. That's one thing that I have seen. She's definitely not the greatest talker, but she's not bad. Guys, she's really not that bad. But I think she started off very well. And then Becky came in. Becky was talking, and Becky always do pretty good promos. I don't think Becky has a great promo, but her personality, her character, and everything, the way she comes off is really good, and it's kind of funny. But I think she ended up doing pretty well, too, after AJ Lee. But AJ Lee could not follow that, and it fell flat. So, like I said, 2.5 stars, which is a thumbs up for AJ, and then 2 stars, when Becky got involved. So 2 stars, and then, like I said, AJ Lee finished that off. So I'm going to give that a thumbs down, guys, straight up. All right, Division Backroom Talk with Adam Pearce gets 2 to 2.5 stars. They was about there talking to Adam Pearce, and, hey, Logan Paul was pretty pissed off about this Masked Man, and they want to get a hold of the Masked Man. And, of course, the big man, Bronson Reed, who they have pushed, and really have not got a lot of response from the crowd all over the country, man, from, about Bronson Reed. But Bronson Reed said he's going to take care of it. He's going to get this Masked Man. But, hey, we'll see what goes on because, Division is pretty ticked off. And if anybody going to be able to get him, it'll be Division because there's so many of them. I mean, it's only a few of them, but they are strong enough to where they can actually get him. All right, man, Gunther's promo and Javon Evans' promo before their match, that vid gets a thumbs up, guys. I definitely like the way they presented that as Gunther coming out. Gunther was talking about, taking on these guys, and he was talking about pretty much, going for, the top title and, him being the man and all that. I really like that. I like that Javon Evans, they showed a promo about him and Javon Evans pretty much touting what he has been able to do and what he plans on doing in the WWE. So I definitely like that. So definitely thumbs up for the promo with both of those guys. All right, let's see. All right, guys, give me just a moment. Like I said, once again, appreciate each and every one of you coming in. And as you as you sit here, check this out. As you sit here rocking with the Straight Up Wrestling Show, you rocking with HBT. Guys, go ahead and hit that like, share, join. If you on Facebook, you here on YouTube, you hit that like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. And do the same thing if you're on Twitch. And if you catch us over on X, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet, and follow Straight Up Wrestling Show. Appreciate each and every one of you guys coming on, man. But if you on here, definitely, man, go ahead and hit that. Go ahead and hit that like button wherever you at, so people can know that Straight Up Wrestling Show is on and rocking, even though it is late tonight. But hey, guys, I am close to closing this thing up. But hey, Javon Evans versus Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio in a triple threat match. I gave it 2.2 stars, so that's 2 stars, guys. That was a 2-star match. It was okay, and it got better. At first, it was really slow, but it did get better. Javon Evans, I think, was doing his thing in there, man. But, you know, of course, Gunther pretty much lighting these guys up, man. But Javon Evans ended up getting the win. He really did. So off to the Elimination Chamber for Javon Evans. Congratulations to him, man. I gave that 2 stars. And to end the night, sorry guys, my throat is pretty much bothering me. But to end the night, man, Raw at the end of the night, I give it 2 stars, man. Straight up, it could have been better. You know, I know a lot of people are going to be really dogging it out. You know, I said it was raggedy. I'm talking about it was like a mess because they had like 2 triple threat matches. They had every single match was like a specialty match when it boiled down to it. You really didn't have any one-on-one contests. Let's see, how many one-on-one contests did they have tonight? Did they have a one-on-one contest? I don't think they did. Well, El Grande Americano versus Penta, that was the only one-on-one contest that they had tonight. The first match was a tag team match. Then they had a triple threat match. You know, then like I say, the face-off between CM Punk, Finn Balor, Rhea, and Io Sky backroom segment with Oscar and Kerry. Then then they, like I said, a one singles match, El Grande Americano versus Penta. Then you had the Judgment Day doing a backroom segment. Then you had AJ Lee with her segment, in-ring segment with Becky. And then you had the Vision backroom talk with Adam Pearce, Gunther's promo. And then you had the triple threat match between Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. So pretty much to me, I just looked at Raw as being all over the place tonight, guys. It really was all over the place. So yeah, I had to give it 2 stars, guys. So, you know, I'm saying the concept of the show was pretty much raggedy, man. It just was. It wasn't that bad of a show. I know a lot of podcasters going to be out here just dogging it, just straight up dogging it out. And I was on a couple of podcasts a little bit earlier, you know, pretty much chiming in and giving my thoughts. You know, hey, wasn't sure if I was going to come on. But since I didn't come on live, I definitely want to come on here and talk about what I saw and pretty much rate all of the matches, guys. But overall, Raw got 2 stars. Only thing that got over 2.5 stars tonight was the first match. And that was the Usos and LA Knight versus, say, who in the world was they? Okay, the Usos, LA Knight versus the Vision. That was the only match, man. But, you know, hey, the Masked Man came out there, pretty much ruined that. And look, they don't need that. They don't need that every single show. So, man, I just don't know. I really don't. But, man, yeah, we'll see what happened on SmackDown, man. The next show is SmackDown, WWE show. Well, tomorrow they will have NXT. Hopefully NXT is a good show tomorrow. And, man, maybe I'll get to watch that because I do have my TV that I can pretty much hook up. My other TV that's going to take the antenna because I only can do it with antenna. I can't get the CW in my area on cable. I get the CW, but I don't get that wrestling channel. Maybe I do NXT, but hopefully NXT be great tomorrow night. I don't know what's going on with NXT, but hey, I'm pretty sure it'd be kind of easy to get back into it. But man, yeah, SmackDown. Hopefully SmackDown is a knockdown drag out, and they have got to get better. And that's not saying that WWE is not trying right now because I really do think they're trying, but I think they are pretty much lost. They pretty much lost, and they just got to get it back. They got to get it back. But I talk to each and every one of you later. Appreciate you coming in. Appreciate Robert Brown coming in tonight. Appreciate my man Jamie Earnhardt coming in here tonight. Guys, appreciate everybody who came through. Hey, this early morning, late night podcast to check out what I'm doing and pretty much to listen to what I'm saying. Because, hey, you guys could be anywhere. Y'all don't have to be on a Straight Up Wrestling Show. You could be doing anything. You could be going to sleep. You could be watching something better on TV when it boils down to it. But you decided to come and spend a little bit of your time with Straight Up Wrestling Show. And I definitely appreciate that, guys. And one more time before I leave out of here, if you're on Facebook, hit that like, share, join. You're here on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, ding, 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 so you know we're on like times like these. And if you over on Twitch, you catch us on X, man, formerly known as Twitter, hit that like, share, tweet, and retweet. And I'll talk to you guys later. Stay straight up. Peace.